Alex Warren and Tobias Ross-Southall, thanks so much for giving us a viewing of your new film, Eleanor. Really extraordinary project. We're very pleased to be able to have an interview with you here today. Can you tell us, why is it called Eleanor?
Well, we talked about the different themes that are surrounding the film, and the main theme is this sort of these lives of solitude and loneliness, and I think we started just playing around with different names, and it came across Eleanor Rigby from the Beatles, of course.
The last film we made, months. It took us months to find a name for it. This was just one night. We were having a couple of beers, and Eleanor Rigby came on while we were playing it. And we were like, Eleanor, it's got to be Eleanor.
It's got to be Eleanor. All the lonely people.
And you've done a number of films together before. Is this?
We've done one film together before. There's a post house in town called Smoke and Mirrors, and they do a 48-hour film competition where you have 48 hours to write, shoot, edit, have music written for a short film, and they give you a topic. And we won that together.
How did you come to meet, and why are you working together?
We met on New Year's Day at about 10 in the morning, about, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I was dressed as Batman. And we ended up finding the only pub that was open at that time in the morning on Old Street. So we just became friends, and I'm an actor and director, and Toby's a director. And so we just kind of ended up working together as friends.
What do you find inspiring about Toby?
His facial hair, often.
I was waiting for that.
Toby's got an incredible eye as a director. He's got, as I was trained as an actor, so I suppose my area of skill is in kind of storytelling, I suppose, and that's where I come at it from, and that's why I've always wanted to direct as well, because I don't want to just be in other people's stories. I want to tell stories as well. And what inspires me about Toby is that he has a whole host of skills which I just don't have. He's got a much better eye than I have. Toby's a photographer, and Toby's an artist in the truest sense of the word. He studied at St Martin's, whereas I just trained how to be people. As a kind of duo, we work quite well together. I think we both bring very different things to the table, I suppose.
And so, Toby, I'm going to ask you the same question. What inspires you about Alex?
Well, Alex, he comes from, as you said, he comes from a very narrative-based background, and the art of storytelling, he has it down to a T, and there's something that, really complements the visuals as well. It's absolutely beautiful, his writing, and then the way that he, the way that you can express yourself through the storytelling is something quite remarkable.
This is an extraordinary and really complicated project that you've brought together, because you've got 3 different writers, and you've got musicians and dancers. It's complicated and difficult. How did you begin to build something like this?
It started because of a poem by Leonard Cohen, which I was dating a girl and she showed it to me, and I fell in love with the poem. I thought it was very cinematic, and it had a particular kind of impact on me, and I started looking at other poems, and I don't really know why, but I chose these 3 poems, one by Leonard Cohen, one by Auden, and one by Robert Frost, developed these 3 characters from it, and started writing a film about these 3 women. But because and then Toby came on board, and we started looking at it as a 3-screen cinematic installation where each screen would follow one of the women. But then, rather than using the original poems, because we'd been on this kind of journey of development, I suppose, we approached 3 writers to do their interpretations of these 3 poems, and then the musicians were kind of friends of ours. Yeah. We'd written in the dance sequence, and we went to the Royal Ballet and cast Romany, the dancer who's extraordinary, and Kristen McNally, who's a dancer and choreographer who works with the Royal Ballet. She choreographed it. They did a remarkable job of that.
And that's what I'd like to ask you also, is why did you only have one actress to portray these 3 different characters?
was because we live in a time where and I work in an industry as an actor in which obviously physical appearance is very important, and we live in a time where physical appearance is increasingly important, and people are reminded about that in magazines all the time. And with movie stars, people often look to who the movie star is in a film before what the character is and what the heart of the character is about. And in having one woman, one actress play three characters, it kind of removes that. And even they have to be a very good actress for it to work. But in having one actress play three parts, it kind of removes you looking at it in a physical way, I think, and forces you to look deeper and look at the differences and similarities between the three women on a deeper, more profound level, as opposed to on an aesthetic surface level, if you know what I mean.
I do. You weren't comparing the women with each other.
There's times when each of the three women's faces are on the three screens at the same time, and if you look at them, what Ruth is doing outwardly, you can't really, I mean, obviously she's wearing slightly different clothes or whatever, she's not really doing a great deal that's very different, but in the most simple way there's something profoundly different between the three women, and that's obviously down to the fact that she's an extraordinary actress who can be so nuanced and so detailed in what she does.
Toby, did you set up every shot? Did you kind of do a storyboard for this project, or?
Yes, we created a ridiculous storyboard for this project.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, but we had to be very mindful about what was being played and shown on each screen, and we sort of came across challenges along the way with that. The DOP on board was amazing, Ray Coates, and he shot some amazing, beautiful imagery. Again, the editor, Rebecca Luff, was absolutely incredible. But she really got a grasp of the project, and she edited it as well in her head that how it would be presented downstairs. But in terms of the installation, it was so crucial to have these three quite imposing screens on you, and having them almost complementing each other, not jarring, not trying to grab too much attention.